Hi everyone, I'm Melissa and I'm going to show you how to do a really pretty everyday glam kind of look, really quick and easy. And what I just did is I prepped my skin using MAC's Complete Comfort Cream. It's one of my favorites. It really hydrates really well. And what I'm going to go in and do is use Too Faced BB Cream. This one is Snow Glow, and I'm going to use the little brush attachment that it has. It's a nice small little kabuki brush. I would just go in. What I really like about it is it really helps reduce the redness. And I really feel like my makeup lasts a lot longer. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking MAC Studio Finished Concealer in NW20. And I'm going to dab it underneath my eyes. It has a really nice full coverage. And I'm going to use my MAC 195 concealer brush. And it's nice and tapered so I can get into the inner corners, and be sure to dab it all along the lower part of this eye circle and along the orbital bone and into the inner corner of the eye. Don't forget to do the other side, and again apply it all underneath the lower eye area and really blend it in nicely. Now me, I get a lot of redness on the outer corner of my nose and on my chin, so I like to go in with my concealer and blend it in there, and I also like to apply it onto my acne spots just for a really nice full coverage. Right now I'm using Clinique Even Better Skin Tone Corrector to lighten and brighten, and I am seeing a huge difference in the clarity of my skin. I love the Mercier Moisture Supreme Foundation. I use Blush Ivory. It's a nice ivory pink undertone foundation, and I love it. And I use my MAC 187 stippling brush to apply it for a smooth, flawless airbrush finish. And I just use one pump to start. I love how it really hydrates and conditions my skin and gives it a really pretty light glowy type finish without feeling greasy or heavy, and it gives me a really decent amount of coverage, and I personally prefer a lighter coverage. And I go in and blend that in all over, and if need be I go in with a second pump of foundation if I need. Now I personally don't like to set my foundation with powder because I'm dry, so my next step is to go in and sculpt my face. I'm going to use MAC Taupe and MAC Harmony, both available at MAC stores, and I'm going to go in and apply it with my MAC 168 angled contouring brush. Any contouring brush will do. What I like to do is start from the upper corner of the ear and swoop it down into the hollow of my cheekbone, and I apply the color and then I blend it out. And I also like to bring it up into my hairline just a little bit for extra dimension, and just keep blending. Now what I'm going to do is take my MAC 225 shader brush, and I am going to contour my nose. So I bring those same shadows along the outside of the bridge of my nose very, very lightly. And do you see how it just gives extra shape to the face? It just makes it look nice and small and tapered. And I also go right underneath just to give it a more tapered look. See? Cute. Now I like to go in and just go over everything with my foundation brush just to blend everything in. So now we're going to do some highlight, and nope, that's not what I was looking for. Hold on, wait. It completely just popped out. It was really funny. I want to share that with you. This is MAC's Pink Pearl Powder from their Barbie collection. Any light, cool baby pink works. And I'm going to use my 168 brush and use the tip of it to go right onto the high planes of the face, right on top of the cheekbones. And I'm going to do that on the other side. And then we're going to take a little bit just right down the bridge of the nose just to give it a little extra shape. And next I'm going to use a hot pink blush. It's from the MAC Fafi collection, and a really large powder angled blush brush. And I'm going to dip that in there and then swoop it down the hollows of my cheeks. And for just a little added fullness, I'm going to hit the apples just to give it a rounder, softer look. Now that our foundation is done, I'm going to go on my eyes. I'm going to use Stila Prime Pot and Taffy. I'm going to use my MAC 195 concealer brush to apply a layer from my lash line to my brow bone. A very thin layer. You just want it to give it a nice stick. You don't want it to get crepey, because then your products will move on you, and that is no bueno. And be sure to do the other eye. Next, I'm going to go in with my MAC 213 fluff brush, And I'm going to be using Makeup Forever's Ivory Eyeshadow, their buildable palettes, and this is number 74. I really like it. It's a nice matte white. And I'm going to start by applying it under the brow bone to give it a nice highlight, giving it a lot of color. And then I'm also going to go in and cover the lid in a lighter ivory color. Keeping your shadows light makes your eyes look bigger. Always keep that in mind. Do the other side. I like a nice ivory to make my eyes look nice and bright. And now I'm going to go in with MAC's Nylon. It's running a little low. And I'm going to dab it on the inner corner of my eyes to brighten them up, and also dab it up on the brow bone for a little extra highlight. It's all about highlighting and contouring and bringing out your natural features. So now I'm going in with my MAC 224 blending brush. Sorry you didn't get to see it. And I'm going to be mixing Bamboo, Wedge, and Soft Brown. And I kind of mix all three and just go in and blend back and forth in a windshield wiper motion into the hollow of the eye. I personally like to keep my eyes open because it lets me see where the eyeshadow is going to lay. And you do that on the exact same thing on the other side, excuse me. And I'm going to go in with Saddle and Swiss Chocolate with my same shader brush and go on the outer corner just to give it a little extra depth and definition. Smile. Now I'm going to go in with my 239 MAC shader brush, and I'm going to dip into Saddle and the Swiss Chocolate and just dab it right underneath my lower lash line instead of putting eyeliner, so I have a softer look. It looks more airbrushed. Now, the Brow Gal is one of my new favorite brow pencils. Check out my brow tutorial. It's the number 1. It's black. It comes with a spoolie brush and a sharpener built in, which is nice. So I'm going to quickly sharpen up my pencil before I use it. And then I'm going to groom up my brows with the end of the spoolie brush, just so they have a nice arch to them. And then I start in the center of the brow and do small, short hair-like strokes. And you can make it as thin or as thick as you want. See? Now we're going to do the same thing. Oh, we're going to brush it out first, just to soften it out so it's not so hard. And we do the exact same thing on the other brow. And I like to hold the brush or the pencil a little bit lighter in my hand so it's not so hard looking. And then brush it up with the end of the spoolie brush. Now I'm going to go in with MAC Brun eyeshadow with my little 208 shader brush. And I'm just going to use this to set the brow pencil that I just applied. And again, just short little hair-like strokes. And notice how I hold the brush at the very end, just so that it's a softer application. Now for my favorite part, I'm going to use Stila liquid liner in the black. It's a little pen. I find it to be waterproof. It is waterproof. And it has a nice little pointy tip, and it has a spring inside the cap. And we're just going to do a nice thin liquid line. I start on the outside and create my little wing, and then I work my way in. And I'm so sorry you can't see it that well, but I'm just drawing a little cat up, little cat line up, and then I connect from the inner to the outer corner, and then I move in the brush again, and then in again, and again, until it's perfect. I find that easier than trying to draw one long straight line. And do the same thing on the other eye. Sorry you cannot see it, but I do have a tutorial up doing perfect liquid liner. And now I'm going to go in with my favorite Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara, and I just go in and wiggle the brush through, and I always wiggle it from the root to the tip. Do the same thing on the other eye. And I'm going to go in with my MAC 44 lashes. They look like really pretty chunky lashes. And I apply a thin layer of Duo. And I'm just kind of speeding through this because I do have a lash tutorial on YouTube for you guys. And then just look at yourself in the mirror, keep your eyes open, and lay it down. And if you need to, you can poke it with your little brush so that it lays better. But if you just keep your eyes open, you can really see what you're doing and where the lash is going to lay. Now I'm going to go in with MAC Boldly Bare Lip Pencil, one of my favorites, and it needs a little sharpening, so I'm going to use my Brow Gouache Sharpener. Saves the day. And then I just go in and gently etch in my lips. It's like a nice pinky, peachy, brownish nude color. And I just do a short line. I never do one long hard line. You just want to etch it in to give your lips more definition. And I usually put a little bit more lip pencil at the outer corner of my lips so that the center of my lips look fuller. And it also helps your gloss stay longer. I'm using NARS Turkish Delight, one of my favorites, obviously. And then we apply that to the center of the lips. Now you have a perfect everyday glam look. Enjoy!